Okay, this will be an easy one, I think, size-wise. So we're just going to set up. This will be full colour. Right, set the paper. The zoom is going to be, we're going to make the zoom 200%. Okay, for that, looks like an A6 in other words. This will be an interesting one to do. Let's see how we go. Well, I might go to background colour, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be either a yellow, but we're going to a pumpkin, which is a darkish kind of yellow. Let's see what else. Saturation. I know what kind way we're going with the hue. We're going to make it cold, or maybe not. I think we're going to heat it up for a change. I think the black is going to stay in the middle. So let's see what we've actually got that we're going to do. Right, okay, what have we got? We got here Sydney Theatre Company, Hamlet. Yeah, that's got to be Hamlet, the skull. Yep, Hamlet, Prince of Skidmark. Oh, they've obviously made a send-up here. This is obviously a bit of a send-up of Hamlet. By the looks of things, a bit of a joke, send-up. I think that's the right term. So that's A6. Yes, Hamlet was apparently, from what I know from my school days, a playwright who just specialised in tragedies. So, yeah, I guess that one's a bit of a spoof, a bit of a joke, you know, a bit of a something silly. I mean, maybe they're just so bored of the tragedy of Hamlet that they decided to make a send-up. And this looks absolutely covered in yellow and pumpkin. Look at that. I don't like it, actually. I need a bit of whatever, another hot colour, magenta. I need a bit of magenta in that. It looks a bit, that's not balanced very well, so I don't think pumpkin is the colour. And I think we've got to change some of the other settings, so it's either going to be red or we're going magenta. And I think the hue is going towards, we're going to cool it down a bit this time and see what happens. So yeah, it looks a bit cold. The colours look cold and it doesn't go very well for some reason, so we're just going to see what we can do, make the colours more vibrant and more balanced. Let's see how we go. Let's see if the magenta is better than the, and yeah, it still looks a bit cold. At least we have, yeah, there's not much yellow, that's the problem. It's like that, you just can't win, you know, with this sometimes. It's really hard getting it right, if there is such thing as getting it right. Right, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with this silly shit. This silly Konica Minolta shit. Maybe we can get in here and maybe take down some of the colours like cyan, so we can. So I'm wondering if we're going to. I'm trying to make up my mind what we want to do. So we're just taking out some of that cyan. So taking out that cyan and see what happens when we remove some of the colour in the colour balance menu. Let's see how this goes. We don't normally do that very often, but it's nice to do something different for a change, so hopefully there'll be less cyan, but we don't want to lose all the cyan, of course. But that looks a bit, still looks cold, but it looks more magenta. You can see there's less cyan in that, there's more magenta, but that's not giving us yellow or anything. So I'm wondering if we can just do one more thing with it, see what we can get out of this. This is not an easy one. I think it's one of these originals that's just, you just can't really do much about it. You know, it's like, it's one of those colours. So I'm wondering if now we're just going to, if we're going to go further with, if we're going to zero the cyan and maybe the hue. I think the hue's going to stay the same. So we dropped out more of the cyan. And I'm wondering if we're going to go and maybe do red. We're going to see what we can do with the red, but I think it's going to be much the same result, just a little bit less cyan. So let's see how this goes. It's very hard to get it right, but some originals are just like that. They just don't lend themselves terribly well to improvement, but I think this is a little bit better. Again, you can see he's got more magenta again. I think this one's probably as good as it's going to get. So yeah, I think we'll call that one quits.